Legal highs are substances used like illegal drugs, but not covered by current misuse of drug laws. So they are legal to possess or to use until the 1st of April 2016, when the government are enforcing a blanket ban on these legal highs. Gavin is a drugs counsellor at MySpace in Rotherham and says he's seen a massive increase in the amount of young people using legal highs in the last 5 years.
And of course when they're legalised and available in shops and at festivals and things like that, they kind of give out one message that it's all right. So all the work that we were doing here met with this resistance that in actual fact, you know, what you're telling me we don't believe, because I can just go and buy these things.
One of the people Gavin is talking about is Tom, a 24-year-old manager who spent 3 years taking legal highs and ended up being jobless, homeless and girlfriendless.
You know, after a long night out, feeling a bit tired, I thought I'd give it a go. I remember that first feeling of just like coming up, you know, for someone who's not drank for 2 years and barely touched a Red Bull. I remember just feeling like a more amplified version of me. Like I remember hating drinking because it turned me into such a different person. But this seemed to like accentuate everything about me. So I started taking it like on regularly. You know, I'd get some. You could go in a couple of shops for it, or you could order it online. It didn't cost much. I think it was about 12 quid for a bag.
What, then anything to do?
Tom's dad Timothy watched hopelessly as Tom fell apart and was left to pick up the pieces.
It was hard to spot the effects that it was having on Tom, because Tom did what Tom does and has always done. If there's something going on, which he started to do his disappearing act, it became harder to get hold of him, harder to get him to call around, harder to catch him and see him, because obviously he was avoiding being seen in such a state. It became obvious he was losing weight. The conversations had to be about how much of this drug you're taking, do you think it's a good idea? Where, you know, what's going on? What's your mother's house like? There was one point when I had to go round to the house when I think it was after she left him to live there, and basically turn over the settees and sweep up small empty plastic bags and stop it from looking like a drug den shithole, which was an interesting thing to do with somewhere where you'd spent 12 years raising your kids.
Before I knew it, I was absolutely hooked on the stuff. You know, it got to the point where I could go through 2-3 bags in a night, because it stopped hitting you in the same way. You know, it stopped making you feel amazing, and instead it made you just feel like you were normalising yourself, and when you weren't on it, you wanted more of it and you felt like you needed to get on it.
What we're finding is that people are dabbling in this market because of the availability, but they've got no idea really that they are becoming super addicted to these things without even realising it. You know, they might think the addiction is for the drug of their choice, but in actual fact this has now got hold of the system as well.
So I wasn't really aware of that it had such an addictive hook on it, whereas, you know, knowing about the addictive hook of either heroin or cocaine, things like that, or speed for that matter, but this one it wasn't quite parked up. And there was also a certain sort of thinking where you were kind of going, well, surely it would be illegal and you won't be able to get hold of it if it was that dangerous a drug. You know, I think that was going on with a lot of people, and it seemed almost like a bit of a craze.
Time, Saturday. Date, with Charlie Kelly.
Oh, once it became illegal, it was a case of you couldn't buy it online anymore, you couldn't go to the shop, but I still wanted it, I still needed it. And that's when I was out in a club in Sheffield one night, and one of the lads who I used to take it with was like, do you want any? And I says, I was mind blown. I says, I didn't know you could still get it. He says, oh, I'm sorting it out now. I says, how much? And it was £15 for a gram. So at this point, it was getting stupid now, you know. £180 was going in a matter of days. So I decided I was going to start dealing it. You know, the guy approached me, he says, you know, you're buying quite a lot. He says, why don't you sell it, make some money back? So I bought a few ounces off, and I think it was about 500 quid for 3. And I started selling to my friends. You know, I had a big circle of friends, we all did it together, and it was a case of if I bought it in and sold it to them, then I wouldn't really have to pay for mine.
How are these things illegal legal in the first place. Surely if young people are getting addicted to these things or don't fully understand what they're taking, how on earth can they be sold? Well, they're not sold as drugs. They might be packaged up and marketed in such a way, or the places where you can buy them are the type of establishment that not everybody will go to. But people are taking things that are like plant foods or horse tranquilizers or a substance that is totally legal for a purpose. And as well, we feel like we're playing catch up because the chemists or the people that manufacture these drugs in the first place, they will look at the chemical structure of a particular drug, whatever it happens to be, and they'll modify it in a different way to give a different effect, to give a different outcome for the user. And of course, when they do that, they affect the molecular structure of this drug, and then as a result, you've no idea what you're actually taking. You've got no clue what the long-term harmful effects could be on your body.
Right, I'll be honest, I didn't get dickhead in it. It was straight around me.
Because we'd always had a fairly open conversation about that kind of thing, you know, sort of, you know, when weed started knocking about in his life and that kind of thing, and so, and also I've always tried to give information about drugs to the kids as they come through and come across them, because I don't think just going, no, don't do drugs, has really ever done anyone any good.
And one night I'd gone out and I'd had a lot to drink, and I were in the middle of town working promo for a club, and I got pulled up by a policeman, and they were like, can we have a word? So they took me in the back of the van and said, we need to search you. So art's going a mile a minute, thinking that's it, game over here. So they had a quick search in the van, didn't find anything because I had it concealed, and then said that they've had a report through that I was selling, so they had to send me back to the police station. So they did go back to the police station, full strip search, and that's when they found it. So I'd spent the night in the cells. And
Tom has beat his addiction and is now excelling in his new life. He's excited about what the future holds for him.
I think the blanket ban will work. I'll be honest with you, no, not a prayer. The thing with people like me and like anyone who's in that little oblivious world of partying, doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter what drug it is, doesn't matter where you get it from, whether you're texting someone that you know or whether you're ordering it online. If you want to get high, you'll get high, you know. Legal highs were a lovely thing because they were legal, but let's be fair, you know, people who started on that, they don't stay on that, you know. As soon as that's not available or it's illegal, they either get it illegally or they move on to something harder.
The blanket ban that's coming in April, I personally don't feel that it's going to work. All you'll do there is you just drive this whole system, this whole manufacturing process, the users and everything, you just drive it all underground.
I don't think some kind of prohibitive ban will work. The only reason they had to bring it into that extent is because the chemists started dialing it one molecule to the side, so they're trying to cover a whole range of possibilities with this one blanket ban. But you know, a few years ago, kids were getting high by turning wheeler bins upside down and setting them on fire to breathe the fumes. But people were out of the way of getting out of their box. They always will.
Just last week, a 17-year-old girl has died after taking a former legal high called MasterCard. Police are investigating the death of the girl during the Bank Holiday Monday party in Manchester. Just over a month after the ban, people are still managing to get hold of these drugs through other means, making us question, will this ban really work? The press office has quoted that they are trying their hardest to implement the blanket ban. They are seeing a decrease in the users, however, they admit they still have a long way to go.